Hello. So I thought I would just jump on and do a video about the February energies through my eyes. A combination of what I've been shown, what I've tapped into, and what's showing up in my healing room as themes. So the first one is anger, and I think I mentioned this in January as well. It's coming from suppressed and unresolved grief for some people. For other people, it's like a fire in their belly. It's a sense. It's coming from a sense of passion, that they're passionate about creating change. But for some people, that fire is turning inwards because they don't actually know. There's almost like a helplessness, and they don't actually know what to do with that fire. So it's turning inwards, and it's actually starting to burn them out. For some people, it's a sense of anger at what's going on in the world. So it's like that sense of injustice. And again, the danger is that it's burning people out. So anger is an emotional charge. Every charge has a positive and a negative. So the positive of anger is that it can be a motivator. It can create change. But the negative is that it can be destructive and it can be projected. So it's a time to be really careful that fire is not burning you out, because if it does burn you out, then of course you're not going to be able to contribute in the way that you want to the changes that are happening in humanity. Also, the reminder is that everything that's happening in the collective, because we're all one, everything that's happening in the collective is a reflection of us on some level. So one way that you can contribute to the change, and you can maybe put yourself back in that space of feeling in control again, is to actually do the inner work. And therefore, if you change things within yourself, you are contributing to the change within humanity. But there's a real warning there that fire can and will be destructive if you don't find ways to resolve and process that within yourself by doing the inner work. Okay, so the second theme is I've been shifting a lot of victim templates and persecution complexes, which has been really interesting. And what I was told is that some energies are simply not going to fit. They're not at the same vibrational level as the new energy that we're moving into, and therefore they just have to be changed. So this is not about the moments where we have a bad day and we feel sorry for ourselves. That's not what this is about. It's about the older, deeper, ingrained victim templates and persecution complexes. So, for example, someone who's been divorced for 15 years, but they're still carrying the anger and resentment towards it. Someone who has had 10 different jobs in the past 4 years, but every time they go to a new job, they meet the same type of people, the same set of circumstances, and they end up blaming the environment for their experience, as opposed to looking at themselves internally and doing the inner work. It may be around relationships where you're continuously attracting the same type of person, or you're maybe hitting the same roadblocks in a relationship. You maybe go so far in, and then you're hitting the same sort of roadblocks, and the relationship is ending. So those are old victim templates, and the space is opened for us to release those. The third thing is the feminine energies and healing of the feminine energies. So this is not about it's not about gender, because we all have the masculine and the feminine within us, and we all need both of those to operate. But it's about meeting the feminine energies where we haven't met them before, where perhaps we've abandoned or rejected them. So I'm talking about things like vulnerability, tenderness, nurture, creativity, intuition, rebirth, those types of energies. And it's been really beautiful to see men stepping up and really looking at those energies, and women. But for me, in the Sacred Circle space where I've been running those circles, and having men there has really changed the energy around shifting those energies. It's amazing to see how many reflections there are between males and females in that feminine energy, how supportive and respectful and compassionate they can all be towards each other, and really acknowledge that we're all processing and dealing with the same things, albeit from different perspectives. So that's been really, really lovely to experience. But it's definitely a time of healing those feminine energies within us. The next one I'm seeing is people coming to the path for the first time, or people coming to the healing journey for the first time. They have hit something within them that is making them look at things differently. So it's making them step into that internal landscape and that internal world, which is absolutely beautiful. And hopefully there'll be more people doing that as well. The veil, the energy veil, sorry, I've got my notes down below to make sure I don't miss anything. The veil is very thin at this point in time, and there are lots of new light energies around. But when there are light energies around, there are also curious and the opposite energies around as well. So the planet is really flooded at the moment. Yeah, I saw that on my workshop on the weekend. It was like standing room only. So yes, it's definitely a time to look at our own boundaries, to look at our own energy, to be aware of your own energy. If you're a healer and a light worker and you're working with other people, it is really, really important to check in with your energy, your energetic hygiene, because people are picking up a lot of stuff that is not theirs, and then carrying it. And if you're not aware of it, it can impact you energetically, and it can impact you emotionally. So that's definitely something to look at. The other thing is that people are making, again with this light energy that's coming in, people are making radical decisions really quickly. So there seems to be things happening very, very quickly. Yeah. People are experiencing maybe circumstances or events in their families that is just causing them to completely reassess, almost, it seems like overnight. Of course, it's quite, it's exactly the way it's meant to be, and it is about realigning these people with their path, but it's just amazing to see how quickly it's happening. Like decisions to step away from careers, to move countries, all of those sorts of things, not little stuff, but they just seem to be happening very quickly. Where in the past, that might have been things that you would have given, it would have been a slow realization, the thoughts would have come in, the journey, the way forward would have manifested slowly, but it literally seems to be happening very, very quickly at the moment. So there's definitely a realignment of people on their path. And the more that we surrender to that, the more that it shows up for us, which is just amazing. One of the other things that I was shown was Mother Earth, the planet herself. There's lots of healing going on underneath the ley lines and energy grids of the planet in some countries more than others. And so we're going to see more natural events occur as those things play out. So that's, I don't think that one will be a surprise to anyone, but yeah, I was definitely shown that as well. And then the other thing is a sense of different energies in different spaces. So I know I'm certainly experiencing that I can be in one room in my house and then move to another room in my house, and it feels like a completely different energy. The energy is much more refined, it's clearer, it's lighter, just a completely different vibration, and it's very obvious because it feels very, very different. And sometimes that's within the house, sometimes that's outside of the house. I've experienced it in lots of different ways. And this is us being introduced to the new energy, where we're not used to it. Our energy is not used to it. Our cells are not used to it. Our body is not used to it. And so this is the universe's way of introducing those changes slowly so that we actually become used to it. The analogy I was given when I tapped into that one and I questioned that, the analogy I was given was, remember the first time you got your glasses and the optician said, don't just put them on and wear them constantly all at once. You need to put them on for small pockets of time and get used to wearing them. And so that feels like the same sort of thing that's happening with the energy at the moment. What I will say is that it's very obvious when I step into those energy spaces because it feels very different, but geez, it is a beautiful energy. So I'm looking forward to when we're all integrated into that space. Okay, so that is some of the themes and the energies of February through my eyes. I will catch you on the next video. Have a beautiful day.